Welcome back to another video, guys. I've been doing a little bit off camera, and I've continued to assemble the SR20 a little bit. Just a little reminder, this is a Mazworx SR20 front wheel drive SR20 VET. Mazworx sleeved it, bored it to, it's a 89.5 piston, but I'm sure the actual bore is 90 mil, which makes it a 2.2 liter, and I make it work with a rear wheel drive setup. That's why this is cut off right here, but even Mazworx agrees that shouldn't mess with the structural integrity of the engine. But Apexy head gasket, a full SuperTech valve train, whole 9 yards, custom 10-to-1 compression pistons, and it goes in my FC RX-7. I've already had a stock version of this engine in here for quite a few years, probably 4 or 5 years. So go check out the other videos in the YouTube channel if you're interested. But now she's getting the spicy engine. Today, what I want to do is finish putting on the oil outlet, and I got a couple of fittings, the turbo drain and the outlet for the breather on the crank. So I want to put those on. Off camera, I also helicoiled the head. All 8 of the studs have been now helicoiled. I don't know if you can see it, and I don't want to pull out the stud. And those are titanium studs and nuts. So I just finished putting on the oil housing. It's custom made, as you can see. I also just put on the Tarks, probably let's call it low mount VVL feeder. I already put the back cam cap or cam sensor delete on there. And I got the Tarks front sensor out. I pulled the plug out, and this fit right in with the O-ring. Buddy Anthony just pulled up in his Z. Looking nice. And he hadn't seen the engine yet, so I was kind of getting excited and mounting some things. So here you guys go. Here's it with the turbo and the manifold. And here's a little secret. I'm going 3.5 inch down pipe. You can see that expansion. It's going from like 2 inches down there to 3.5 up here in like 3 inches. So we've got the bellow flex pipe, and we got 2 foot of 3.5 inch. And then I've got like 3 foot of 3 inch. And then we'll mate it to the exhaust I already have. I think I'm ready to put the engine in the car. I put my dash 10 fitting on Mazworx breather, and I also installed the dash 10 drain line for the turbo. You can see it's going to be an interesting one, how to get it there. It's probably going to have to go here, and yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. But before we put it in the engine bay, we've got to install this super dampener. I bought the install kit that the instructions for the SR20 crank pulley comes with. Tells you to buy this kit, and the kit comes with this, which is supposed to go here, and then you use this like this. You put that into the crank, and you're supposed to tighten it. Well, the crank hole on the SR is an M16 by 1.5. This kit does not come with that, nor is there an option for an M16 by 1.5. So, I popped the C-clip out of this to take the bearing, and I'm going to throw the bearing down here and use the OEM crank pulley to install the dampener. But first, we got to put some blue Loctite on these provided bolts and bolt the two pieces together. Change my mind, I'm going to leave that off and just put it on like this since I'm not using this. So, the instructions did say to make sure to put some anti-seize on here, and I got some right here, so we're going to put a little bit in there before I press this on. Okay, so you can see I have that bearing back there. And I'm doing this literally with one finger. You can see the crank's not moving. So that's what you should do. That way you make sure, like, I can feel it's seated now. So that's it. We'll break it loose. And it looks like it's on the same plane. Right there. So we'll know for sure when we bolt everything together. This is the first time I've ever had a super dampener. And yeah, the engine looks way more legit with it on there. Man, I'm so happy. I decided that I wanted more protection for other things. Like, I have plastic bags over all the dash 10s everywhere. Even over here I do. But still, these ports are open, so plastic bag on top. This is just to protect anything from actually falling and hitting the cams. So I feel a lot better about that. I've got the header strapped on this side, and I've got the engine mount I made on this side that we're going to have to cut because it was 3/4 this way. I made it in the winter before I shipped the block out. But yeah, so I've got it picked up right now, and I may not be able to do this one-handed. Oh, nope, I got it. And there we go. Now the engine, now I can take this plate off and put the other one on. This is the dirtiest piece I'm putting back on, but I don't feel like taking the time to just grind it down when all this will be covered anyway. But this is the mounting bracket I use. It's Autotech Motoring sr22vet, and it's only half a plate. And again, it's for a rear-wheel drive. So this directly shows you the difference. The block is shorter by about 2 inches on the head side, or you know, the top where the head bolts to, and then the bottom side is about 1 inch difference. But I have to cut that out so I can use this rear-wheel drive starter. If I had to do it differently, I would try to find a front-wheel drive bracket and run a front-wheel drive clutch. But this is already done and I've made everything. But every time I take this plate off, the Allen bolts that are in here, these guys, they strip out. Because from the heat cycles, the steel or the aluminum expands so much more than the steel that it like seizes itself onto this plate. So I end up having to drill them out, and then the bolt just comes right out, which shows me that it is just sticking to the aluminum. So this time I'm putting anti-seize on there, and hopefully, well, first off, hopefully this plate never comes back off, and this is the last time I dick with this. But, you know, I've been in the car game way too long. I would love this to be the last time I touch this engine or pull it out of the car, but who knows. Anyway, so I'm going to bolt this on, and then I have a couple of plates that bolt this ear to this tab, and then I also have a bracket that I'm going to engineer even better that goes down to here to bolt onto the transmission. But for now, since this is all mock-up, I'll just do these 4 bolts. It's been so long, I forgot that I also put one through the starter hole. So that's 2 bolts holding this area on. Now let's get this thing in the car. She is back where she belongs. So I do have the motor centered right now, and I am using the motor mount, but you can see that gap down there. I want the motor mount to be there, and we're way high up, which is causing this to sit too high and a little more slanted than I want it. I want it a little bit more up and down. You can see by the pan silhouette, you can barely see it, but it's not flat. It's lower on the camera's right side versus the left. So we kind of want that straight, and I'm touching right down here right now. So touching there, miles of room there. So we kind of want the engine tilted a little more up and down. It's not really bad. Of course, the valve cover gives you a false sense. I think that's about how it is right now. So I want it a little less angled than that. So we will end up having to cut this one, and this one isn't finished, so I'll end up just cutting this weld back off and this tack off, and we'll just redo this piece. So it shouldn't be hard, but the engine is in there. So this gives me my layout so I can do the V-mount, I can do the downpipe, I can do the hot side of the intercooler piping, the cold side, everything. But hopefully I can get my valve cover in soon so I can actually button this thing up and make it look good. Right now it kind of just looks like trash in there. Doesn't look like a shit if you include the oil pan and the turbo and the manifold. Like, that's 15 grand sitting here. So excited. You can see no clutch in there. I'm waiting to hear back from Action because these spec clutches, I clutch kick too much and I keep throwing these springs out. That's a brand new disc almost. So I got a hold of Action Clutch, and they said they would sell me just a disc, just no warranty. But I'm not worried about the warranty. Man, I am so excited to get this thing on the road again. We've got our engine, we've got the inside all done. Like, really, I want to take the carpet out and paint it black. Get rid of those stains. But, man, that's going to look so good when it's all colored. Man, I'm just so excited. But I appreciate you guys watching the videos. I hope you're excited as I am. I'm just speechless sometimes. I got a lot of work ahead of me, but we're going to keep rolling. I don't think I have anything but time against me. Like, I have all the parts to start fabricating. So as soon as I get some free time, that's what we're going to do. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the videos. Really, I'm putting the money in the channel. Okay. Besides like advertising the channel, I can't really do too much more. So it would really help the channel, and it would make me feel better if you guys liked. And we'll see you soon with the engine mounts done in the SR20 powered RX-7.